Oh my god. I'm convinced Ridley Scott is doing cocaine. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with being on cocaine. I'm on cocaine too. Gladiator 2, I just watched it, and I'm gonna be honest, guys. I might actually have to defend this film because of how crazy it gets, okay? I've defended Ridley Scott in his worst moments, okay? I defended the Alien prequels. I know a lot of people like them, but a lot of people hate them as well. I liked what they brought to the Alien universe. I liked that they established new lore. They kind of ruined some lore as well, and they have flaws like you wouldn't believe, but I defended them. Exodus, Gods and Kings, that movie's mid as shit. I love The Martian. I love The Last Duel. I laughed at House of Gucci. Napoleon, that movie, okay, there's nothing I can even say about that. But Gladiator 2 just came out. Ridley decided I'm going to re-enter this storyline that I helped prop up, one of the most classic movies ever. And I'm gonna make my magnum opus. 5 years Ridley's been working on this, apparently. I'm not the only one who thinks he's lost his mind. His own cinematographer is saying that this dude has lost the plot on set as well. I'm gonna tell you exactly what's gone wrong with this film and exactly what went right. This man is a GOAT. Simply said, nothing else can be said, he's the GOAT. There's a lot of controversy with the character he plays and him being in the film at all. We're gonna get to that, okay? But he is the GOAT. I have to start this video. There's a reason he was casted in this. Everything else that we've seen in the movie is the same as the first. It's a retread of the first, but it's more mediocre. Hollywood needs to learn that bigger does not equal better. They try to outdo the first in all their sequences and they fail miserably. You know why? They're trying so hard to be the first. This guy, you're not him, pal. I'm sorry. I love the actor, by the way, Mescal, whatever his name is. Paul Mescal, whatever. I think he's great in the role. But they're trying so hard to make him like Maximus and it doesn't work. And the problem is they try to make us care about this shit. We don't. We just see them. They make out for 2 scenes and then she dies within the first 2 minutes. This is like The Crow, that Crow reboot, which is horseshit, by the way, where we're supposed to care about the couple, but we don't because they kiss and make out and it's assumed that we're supposed to care about them on an emotional level. It's the same with this shit. We don't care about them. In the first movie, you feel Maximus's pain, not because you have time with his family, because you don't really see them that much. You just see them in glimpses in his head, but you feel how much he wants to get back to them. He's been out for 3 years or something like that, right? He wants to go back. He's describing how much he would rather be with them, tending his crops, playing with his child, than fighting on the battlefield for some dumb fucking idiots like whatever, Joaquin Phoenix and Marcus Aurelius. He doesn't want to be here, yeah? We feel his pain. When he finds his family hanging, it's brutal. She gets shot in the chest and I'm like, okay, I felt nothing. All right? Pedro Pascal has a very interesting personality because he's similar to Maximus, right? Only one thing, he feels immense guilt when he's taking over and conquering all these lands, right? He pretty much is responsible for killing her. He didn't actually kill her himself, but he raided their village or whatever, and he is a guy that our boy here wants revenge on, okay? But he doesn't even want to be here. He doesn't want to fight at all. Very interesting dynamic there. Unfortunately, it's ruined because there is a point where they fight and Mescal's, I don't know, Halo, whatever his name is, he's about to kill Pedro, and then Pedro says, "I knew your father." And then the main character's been angry and wanting this guy dead for the entire movie. This character wants this man dead. And then this dude's like, "I knew your father, Maximus." And then and then our main character changes his mind completely. He completely changes. He flips on both of them. We're gonna get to her, this chick. He flips. He's like, he declares this guy a hero for Rome. What the fuck? The story arcs in this are rushed as shit. Not to mention, he's the heir to the throne too. I was surprised by how predictable this story was, okay? He's the son of Maximus. Apparently, what we're adding to the thing that maybe this was inferred in the first movie. I don't even think it was directly even said, but Maximus banged her at some point, and he cheated on his wife. Congrats, bro. And he made a kid. This kid is his, and he's heir to the throne. And he apparently was he fled the village because his mother told him to leave, and now he's back, and he hates his mother too, because he feels like she abandoned him, and he flips on her too, a completely 180. But he's heir to the throne. I thought this dude was just going to be some soldier that was inspired by Maximus, but no, he's straight up his son. Great, Ridley. Great. I'm going to be honest, man. Every single piece of dialogue that they have tried to sound dramatic and symbolic is cheesy as shit. This chick was much better in the first movie. Okay? She had personality, charisma. She had this almost manipulative thing to her. In this one, she cries and smiles at the same time, and I don't know. I feel like the acting here from her is forced. It's almost too try hard. And she cry, and it's, oh god, man, it's really cheesy. I don't really know what to say about this. It just feels like they're trying so hard to be as deep as the first, but they fail. Okay, the speeches don't land. This guy gives a speech to, you know, soldiers at the end, and I'm like, everything you're saying, if it's not a repeated line from Maximus, it just sounds forced, and we don't feel any of the emotions that we're supposed to, at all. When Maximus is giving a speech in the opening scene of Gladiator, when he's talking about Elysium and they're all laughing, and even the end shot, like it just feels like there's something missing here. Okay, there's you have to be honest. When you're trying to repeat the first story so much and you're not as good, it's noticeable to me. Okay, they're trying to outdo everything. They're putting sharks in the Colosseum and water. It's supposed to be cool, but they're really CGI sharks. They don't really look that good at all. The effects are bad, and you don't really get much of them. You just feeling people falling in the water, and then the sharks eat them. Like, it's nothing cool at all. It really is cool visuals to put in the trailer to show people, oh damn, we're doubling down now. You have CGI monkeys, which I'm gonna be honest, they were pretty cool. All right, the fight with the monkeys was awesome. CGI rhinos, like, see what I mean? They're trying to go overboard, and when you add CGI, it ruins it. The first movie had intimate violence. It felt real. It felt emotional. This one, we're gonna replace emotion with CGI. This is the fucking modern film rule, apparently, nowadays. Okay? The one thing I'll say about this movie is that when it does have close-quartered combat, it's great. The choreography is great. The way it's filmed is great. I have no problem with it at all. They do repeat some of the kills, the double sword beheading. They do repeat it, but I'll be honest, I have no problems with the action. The action in this is pretty mostly solid for the most part, okay? See, I'm not a hater. I give you credit where credit's due, and I'm about to give you more, okay? Besides that, the movie overall I felt nothing. It just feels bland to me. When I'm watching it, I'm like, from the opening shot, I'm like, okay, they're putting really cheesy music over them, and we're supposed to care about them. We're supposed to care about all this, and we don't. None of it is as interesting as the first. But when they detour from being like the first, that's when the true crackhead Ridley comes out. We gotta be honest. Denzel plays himself. This is literally if Robert McCall from The Equalizer was in Rome. That's what this movie is, okay? And it's fucking awesome. All right, these are methamphetamine addicts. When Joaquin Phoenix was a villain, right? You kind of understood where he's coming from. He's a pathetic, insecure man who wants to be loved by his dad, and he feels jealous of Maximus, right? That's where he comes from. With these two, they're cokeheads. That's their motivation. One of them is dumb as fucking, plays with monkeys. We're gonna get to that. And the other one is trying to do his, like, this guy's an idiot, and this guy's trying to be Jared Leto Joker. And I love this actor. Eddie, he played Eddie in Stranger Things, my boy. My favorite character in season 4. They killed him off. Why don't they kill Mike off? Fuck Mike. I want him to die so badly. Sorry for the little rant, okay? Now, people were complaining. A black guy in Rome at the time in a place of power? Come on, is this some woke casting? Okay, guys. Even if it is like a diversity quota, right? Even if it is, who gives a shit? Is Denzel Washington, and he's the best thing in this movie. He's the only guy who's different. Everyone else is a statue, okay? Also, let's just be honest. Apparently, an actress was removed because her country of origin is a country that's currently in a conflict overseas with another country, and Hollywood doesn't want to talk about it because Hollywood has interest in the other country, and blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to get into it too much, but it's just funny how this sexy-ass actress, by the way, it was removed. All her scenes were cut just because of that. Hollywood politics are really cringe, aren't they? And it's funny how Denzel doesn't mention this, even though Denzel himself is so quick to talk about, oh, well, I had a gay kiss, and they removed it because they don't have the balls to leave it in. But Denzel, you don't have the balls to talk about this? Man, interesting how we just choose to talk about some topics and the others. But I'm not going to get into that because this is not a political channel, okay? We're going to talk about this guy. His story is crazy. Okay? This dude manipulates crackheads for a living. Okay? What I love about this film is it kind of ruins how perfect these two characters were, right? Maximus is the ultimate man. He's a Chad. He's moral shit. Marcus Aurelius is so wise. He's so wise and good, and he cares about the good of Rome. But both of them kind of had shady pasts. One banged another woman, eloped with another woman while he was away from his wife and kid. The other had a slave. And it's all realistic because, you know, Maximus probably would have banged women and killed a lot of people brutally. And we're just going to skip over that because Maximus is our great protagonist, right? And Marcus Aurelius is at his wisest in Gladiator, in the first one. But there's a whole history of him probably doing shit that we aren't told about. But in this movie, he was a slave of Marcus Aurelius. Marcus Aurelius had slaves that he treated like shit. And Denzel's been wanting revenge ever since. Okay? I love that. I love that because it adds so much to the first. And it adds to why Marcus Aurelius wants Rome to be better. Because Marcus is part of the problem of the corruption. He manipulates and destroys an entire bloodline in this movie, Denzel. The entire bloodline. Okay? Starting with these fuckheads. He manipulates this dude into killing his own brother. Okay? First things first. He pretty much leaks their plan to overthrow the emperors to them so that he can gain their trust. Then, in gaining the trust, he's able to manipulate the brothers, the two twin emperors, on each other. So he convinces this dude to kill his own brother. He's saying, yo, he wants you dead, by the way. He's going to try to kill you tonight. And this dumbass believes him because he's a dumbass. Okay? So they kill the brother, and then this dude announces himself as the sole emperor to the court, to the council, the senate, whatever. And then he announces his two consuls that everyone has to worship. One of them is a monkey. He puts a monkey on the throne of a consul and says, you will all bow to him. And they all do. all the senate bows to this random monkey. And even Denzel's like, oh, all right, fine, yeah. Our consul, yes. I don't even remember what the monkey's name is, but that's another part of the story, okay? It's a big part of the story too, because the other emperor has just died. And he's now naming his two consuls who are going to guide the entire decision-making in Rome. And his second consul is Denzel. So guess what Denzel does, okay? So you would think that Denzel and the brother cover up the death of their emperor, right? They just blame it on maybe one of the citizens because there's a riot happening in the cities right now, right? In the streets. But no. So they cut off the brother's head, and Denzel takes the brother's head to the Senate, to the entire Senate, and shows it to them and puts it on like a pillar and like turns it around on all of them and says, I own you all. And I'm paraphrasing, but he's like, I own you all. You're all my bitches now. I'm like, first of all, this would never be allowed to happen. I know a lot of people don't like these emperors. I know they want them gone, but this is an emperor of Rome whose head is being used as a toy. And Denzel's like, yeah, I own you all now. And all they can do is sit back and watch. I'm like, bro, there's zero accountability. They're just letting this happen. It's hilarious. Denzel gets away with so much shit. And then Denzel shoots the fucking, he shoots the mother, the queen or whatever, with an arrow. When there's a gladiator fight happening. It's so funny. It's so funny. And then he fucking kills this dude. He stabs him right while they're watching the gladiator. He pulls a knife and sticks it in his ear. And I'm like, bro, Denzel's wiped out an entire bloodline within a day. This is insane. But you understand why, right? He was a slave. He wants power now. His ultimate thing is he wants to destroy Rome so he can rise it back up, right? It's a Wilson Fisk, Thanos type thing, right? Stupid plan, but his motivation makes sense. And the ending is pretty cool. He has a final fight with the main character. He kind of beats the main character's ass, to be honest, until, you know, plot armor. Literally plot armor helps the main character. And he dies in a great death, bloodied in the river. And I like the ending scene, bro. Like the main character is like, Father, speak to me. And then you see the hand, the iconic shot of the Russell Crowe's hand going over the crops. Like, it's a great ending, and this villain is great, okay? Every time him and these methamphetamine addicts are on screen, it's fucking awesome. Gladiator 2 is a mixed bag. It's a pretty mediocre, dull film, but when this guy's on screen manipulating crackheads, Ridley Scott goes full schizo. A monkey is put on the throne of consul for the Senate to bow to. Yeah. Gladiator 2, ladies and gentlemen. Ridley Scott at his most crackhead energy. If you want to know a future project that Ridley Scott's about to take on, the new Alien film, and my thoughts on that, because Ridley Scott's going full schizo like me, Watch this video here.